What's colder, the weather outside of the Calgary Flames offense? Well, considering that the temperature went up a little bit today, I think I'm inclined to say the latter. The Calgary Flames scored just one goal. They managed barely 20 shots at Rogers Place in Edmonton on this chilly Tuesday evening. 2 sleeps until Christmas, and they lose 5-1 to the Edmonton Oilers in the second battle of Alberta in the season, and the final one, mercifully, at Rogers Place. Mike Gould and Kent Wilson with you on Afterburner tonight. A presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. Use that code NATION. And if you want to join along with us, you can contribute using the Afterburner Super Chat, proceeds from which go to the Youth Centers of Calgary, a place where kids are welcomed and accepted as they are, a place where they can get a break from the chronic stress that is the reality for many of their lives, and where they can flourish through connections and fun. A 5-1 final score in favor of the Oilers tonight, Kent. And I don't think you can say it was a score that was undeserved, considering the way that the game progressed.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe a little bit flattering for the Calgary Flames.
I was going to say, if you're a silver lining kind of person, it probably could have been 10-1. So 5-1 is kind of, as you say, potentially flattering for the Flames. Just one of those nights.
Yeah, about as bad a night as it could have been for a lot of folks across the board tonight, with perhaps the exception of Dustin Wolf, who looked pretty good. Sort of a nail in the coffin of the idea that the Flames can't be a bad team with Dustin Wolf in net, because they were sure pretty bad tonight. They got trounced, and yet Dustin Wolf is probably the best player. Not probably, he was their best player, even though he allowed 5 goals.
Well, the funny thing is we've seen some games in the last, this year, in the last 12 months, where it was just bad. Like the play, you watch in the first 10 minutes, you're like, this isn't even NHL hockey.
This is done.
Bad. But this was a game where I thought the Flames' pace was good through the first 10 or 15 minutes. And then you just saw the superior talent of the opposition take over the game. And I don't think the Flames were lacking in energy or effort. It was just they were completely outclassed. That's all there was to it.
Good to see some familiar folks in the chat on this Tuesday night. Hard to remember sometimes the days of the week around this time of year, but it is a Tuesday. 2 days left until Christmas. Our gift to you on this chilly evening is that we are going to keep this show short, so y'all don't have to hear about this game for too much longer, and also so we can start to enjoy the holiday season. But we will discuss some things about this game, it was the Edmonton Oilers who opened the scoring. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins making it a 1-0 game with a rare even strength goal for the Edmonton Oilers earlier on in the first period, 6:48 in. It was Nugent-Hopkins from Bouchard and McDavid.
The one goal of the night where Wolf isn't too happy with what happened. He can't stop as you say, the rebound was an issue, but other than that, yeah, he's blameless the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think you could say that. Mackenzie Weegar, a player who was a bit of a story for the Flames throughout the game, did not play a whole lot. We'll get to the reason why later on. But Weegar did get the Flames' only goal of this contest, a bit of a give-and-go play.
2 shifts that the Flames had an extended period of time in the offensive zone, both, I think, from the backline line. Other than that, they weren't really a threat at all.
I think that is accurate. We will continue on with the second period. And folks, in case you can't tell, we are going lightning speed through this recap because, quite frankly, I think the ramifications from this game are more interesting to discuss than the actual game itself, as far as where the Flames now sit in the standings, and also how the other games on the docket tonight impacted where they are in the standings, because there were some interesting out-of-town results this evening. Connor McDavid, however, late in that first period, with just 17 seconds left in period number 1, he helped set up Leon Draisaitl trick tonight. That is 18th of the year for Leon. He ended up at 20 when all was said and done on the evening.
Yeah, Leon loves playing the Flames. I mean, it's just something about it. And, of course, McDavid's kind of gone supernova recently, and this was a night where he looked unstoppable.
Yeah, it certainly was. In the second period, we saw things just continue to unravel for the Calgary Flames. Shots in this game kind of had an interesting symmetry to them tonight. The Oilers outshot the Flames 15-8 in both the first and second periods. And then in the third period, shots were 9-3 in favor of the Oilers. They just kind of shut everything down. The Oilers scored on 2 of their 15 shots in the middle frame, and it started early, just under 2 minutes in to period number 2. It was Leon again.
I don't know, 5 seasons at this point.
Yeah, the Oilers' power play went 60% tonight. They went 3 for 5. The Flames went 0 for 4, and I think they didn't even get a shot on 3 of them.
No, the Edmonton penalty kill had more scoring chances, I'm sure, than the power play.
Well, and the Flames kind of handcuffed themselves even further midway through that second period when Mackenzie Weegar ended his own night a little bit early after a silly penalty to begin with that just sort of escalated.
Him getting this level of penalties from it, but it didn't surprise me when I saw it live. I just thought, yeah, you're getting a penalty for that. And then he kept doing it. I'm like, you're getting a penalty for that. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, that's just, I don't know. There's no upside to what you're doing right now.
The Oilers did not score on the ensuing power play there. However, later on in period number 2, it was Zach Hyman who missed the start of the season and has been red hot ever since returning to the Oilers lineup, already with 10 goals on the season. That's tied with anybody else on the Flames. Hyman with his 10th little tap in from Connor McDavid. What are you doing, right? So tough one there. And you know what? We're almost 10 minutes into this show, and we're going to finally get to the last goal, Kent. We're just this is a lightning round. This is like playing Mario Kart on 150cc. We are almost at the end. In the third period, it's Leon capping off the hat trick. Dustin Wolf appeared to be a little beaten up on this one. It was a bang play, bit of a lucky play. Kevin Ball kind of gets caught puck watching and doesn't see Leon Draisaitl sort of standing at the side of the net right behind him. And Wolf stretches across, gets a bit of it. I thought in real time that he'd actually made the save, but it sneaks by him. And yeah, Wolf was certainly, I mean, he has red hair, but he was even more gingerly favoring that right or that left leg of his after this near save. So Draisaitl with his 20th. Wolf did stay in net the rest of the way. He ended up allowing 5 on 39. Connor Ingram at the other side, making his second start in 3 days, and his second consecutive start for the Oilers after being recalled from the Bakersfield Condors with 18 saves on 19 shots. He is now 2-0 with the Edmonton Oilers, is the former Arizona Coyote. So
easy night for him.
easy. I mean, that's the thing. If you are the Oilers and wanting to ease Connor Ingram back into the NHL after a extended stint in the American League with the Tucson Roadrunners and Bakersfield Condors, I would maybe play him again on the 27th against the Flames.
Unfortunately, that's true. I was surprised they kept Wolf in after that.
Yeah, me too.
To tell you the truth, and no blame to the player at all. Like this game's over. Why are you keeping your starter in it? It's makes you think a little bit. Strange.
Yeah, not ideal. But in any event, that's the tale of the tape. The Calgary Flames lose 5-1 to the Edmonton Oilers at Rogers Place in Edmonton. We won't get to the road ahead yet, but they will be back against the Oilers on the 27th for another game, this time at the Saddledome. The Flames now 6-4-0 in their last 10, but they've lost their last 2, I guess. They won. What's the deal with this season, Kent? Have they lost 2 in a row? I forget. Who cares? It's 15-8-4 on the year. The Calgary Flames through 37 games. They are now still just 2 points up on last in the league. But this is sort of, to me, a little bit more interesting. The Town Scoreboard. This season has been so strange in the NHL. The NHL has always been a league of extreme parity. Well, no, I shouldn't say always. But in the last 20 years since the lockout was implemented, it's been a league of extreme parity. And it has grown to be even more so recently. This year is unbelievable. I am shocked by the lack of the lack of a basement suite of teams congregated at the bottom of the standings. We usually see teams that are on pace for, 40, 50, 60 points. There's nobody like that in the entire NHL, even after losing tonight. I mean, I looked at it, last season, the San Jose Sharks had, 52 points, I want to say. And
right.
and I think they already have 37 this year.
Yeah.
They are 15 points back of where they finished all last year, and they're not even halfway through this season, right? But the thing is, there's nobody that is slid into their area. There's no one that has filled that vacancy to the point where the Chicago Blackhawks, who have lost 5 in a row, they have lost 5 in a row, all in regulation. They are 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. They are losing tonight to the Philadelphia Flyers. In fact, let's see, they just lost to the Philadelphia Flyers, and then they've now lost 6 in a row. 3-1 the final score, and they are on pace for 80 points, more than 80 points.
I mean, the issue is there's no actively tanking teams. The Flames should be one of them, but they're not.
It's crazy.
I thought Pittsburgh might do it this year, but they're weirdly good. You have San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim, Buffalo, a lot of bad teams for years who are trying to be good. They're not actively tanking. Yeah, there's no even New York Islanders have kind of become mid as well. It's like, who's bad this year? The Flames should be bad. They should be trying to be bad. Well, they're not quite as bad. Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames are like the accidental bads so far.
It's the weirdest.
But they're fighting against it, right?
Yeah. The Hawks have now lost 6 straight. Their points percentage is now .444. That is the worst in the league. Okay. .444 is the worst in the league. There have been teams in the .350 range, for a long time. The Flames and Canucks are at .459 and .458 respectively. That makes them third and second worst, respectively. So the Flames, who have whipped many of their fans into a frenzy by winning so many games recently and putting them into the middle pack, being too good to be bad. Well, here they are. They have gone 6-4-0 in their last 10 games. And if Chicago wins their next game and the Flames lose their next game, the Flames will suddenly be last in the league again.
Yep.
But
prosperity.
The Flames are right there in the playoff race. I mean, the crazy thing is I was watching, I was watching the Sportsnet broadcast tonight, the Oilers broadcast, and the Louis and Kent, or not Kent, Jack, Louis and Jack, maybe it should be Louis and Kent, but Louis and Jack were talking about how the Flames' recent run has put them back into contention.
Yeah, for the playoffs,
which is a funny word to use for the Calgary Flames. Yeah. But it is just the strangest year I can remember. Maybe we'll start to see things open up after the break. I sort of made the point on the pregame show on the Warmies that this year is different, and it's not just because the Olympics are a thing, but it does make it more of a thing. But with this year being the first year of the new playoff cap, there is less of an incentive for teams to wait to bank cap space because it ends up not mattering in the playoffs. You need the space regardless. And so what it means is there's more of an incentive for teams to act earlier and have these players be acclimated to your rosters over a greater period of time leading up to the trade deadline. And there's another circumstance at play here, which is now there's the Olympics. And so in practice this year, I think what we're going to see is 3 sort of trade deadlines. And we've already seen one in, like, when was the last time we saw 2 deals happening on the night before the trade freeze? Right. And I think we're going to see a couple deals happening right before the Olympic break. And then we're going to see more deals happening before the trade deadline. And I almost wonder if we're going to see deals happening after the freeze lifts for the winter freeze. So it is, but the other aspect of it is, and I'm talking for so long here, but the other aspect of it is that there are so few defined buyers and sellers that everything happening around the league makes it just so interesting, to the point that if the Flames do decide they want to be sellers early on, you might have a larger pool of buyers than usual.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Quinn Hughes trade happening in December starts to kick off people's heads, especially with Minnesota getting him. And and winning a bunch of games in a
Playing
row.
extremely well.
They lost tonight, but they've won a whole bunch. So that starts to shift the power dynamic within the league, right? So you have other contenders and ambitious teams thinking, okay, well, we can't wait until March to make a move. We should probably do it earlier. And the Flames should be sitting in the catbird seat as sellers in the NHL, given Rasmus Anderson, given Kadri, given Coleman. These are all players that should be getting high in demand, and we hear constant rumors that they are. So let's start leveraging this.
So what you're saying is that it's a seller's market.
It should be, yeah, especially for the Flames, given the assets that they have and the value that they potentially have on the market, right? I don't understand why they would sit on their hands for much longer.
So what you're saying is that because it's a seller's market, the Flames should contact Derek Newman. Nice. There you go.
Yes.
Derek Newman Group with CIR Realty. We're going to interrupt this discussion about buying and selling and ways and means to talk about Derek Newman over at CIR Realty. If you're buying, if you're selling, if you're standing pat and letting the room sort itself out, you can let Derek do the work for you. Email him at dnewman@cirrealty.ca or call 403-619-6661 or visit dereknewmangroup.com. Derek's got just trusted experience. I mean, there's so much that's said around the NHL, getting guys who know how to win, getting guys who have been there before. Well, Derek knows how to win for you, and he's been there many, many times before. So give him a call, Derek Newman Group with CIR Realty. And if things continue around the league the way they have, Derek's going to need to be visiting all over North America, because it's been a season where, like, as you said, Kent, not only have there been no teams in the basement, but the teams that have been in the basement have continually cycled back and won a bunch of games, gotten themselves out of it.
Even Vancouver recently, right?
Well, and yeah, I mean, like the Buffalo Sabres beat the Ottawa Senators tonight, 3-2 in a shootout. The Sabres have won 7 in a row. Seven in a row. They are 2 points out of a playoff spot. And I mean, they've gotten healthy. Getting Josh Norris back has been absolutely huge for them. But also, it's just there are so many teams around there that are doing similar things. The Seattle Kraken have been a mess. Well, they're up 3-1 over the LA Kings tonight. Yeah. Like
I said, there's no active tanking. Like right now,
oh my goch,
everyone wants to be not bad.
The Nashville Predators beat the Minnesota Wild tonight.
The Flames should be the active tanking team in the league right now.
The Nashville Predators beat the Minnesota Wild 3-2 in overtime tonight.
They did, yeah.
I mean, part of it is also just then there's been a huge volume of 3-point games this season. I think more so than usual. But also, it is strange to me that like we keep seeing these cycles. Now, it has happened the other way as well. I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins were a playoff team for so much of the start of the year. They've lost a ton. They've won one of their last 10 games. Chicago, a similar fate is befalling them in Chicago. The Blackhawks have fallen to last in the league. But the thing is, these teams, some of them have built up cushions and they're eating through their cushions, but they never get all the way down to the floor. They just go and get new cushions somewhere. And so it's very strange. And you're right, Kent. The Flames have an opportunity here. And I said it to you during the game. I wonder if these 2 losses act as a bit of a turning point, because in a lot of cases, we have seen this in a couple times over the years when, pivotal losses, pivotal games against Edmonton sometimes have a habit of changing the way the Flames have approached certain things, their mindset. I think back to the outdoor game that they played against the Oilers at the start of the 23-24 season when they were kind of iffy to start, and they lose that game in like really embarrassing fashion. And that sort of put brakes on them talking about re-signing certain players. They ended up bringing up some guys. I think Zary came up shortly after that game. And they kind of changed the outlook of the season. And here we are now, midway through this season, with the Flames having sort of treaded water to this point to a certain extent. And if they've lost tonight against the Oilers, they might lose on the 27th against the Oilers. We'll see. They're going to be back at home. But if they do lose both these games, and then you get out of it with the trade freeze lifting the next day, and all the media that we've seen about Rasmus Anderson, all the discussion we've heard about Blake Coleman, maybe 20 teams being interested in this player, and just the overall sense that maybe the market is starting to thaw around the NHL and things are starting to open up. I just wonder if the stars are starting to align a little bit as far as things maybe starting to change.
Yeah, in terms of this being like a yardstick game, it is a little bit of Ghosts of Christmas Future. Like,
Ghost of Christmas Future, yeah.
because even if the Flames somehow made the playoffs, which is a massive long shot at this point, this is what you'd see in the playoffs.
Oh, God, it'd be ugly.
Team horribly, way behind the opposition. It's what we see. I mean, I saw some stats a few weeks ago. I don't know who pulled it. It was from like the NHL Edge or whatever. And the Flames were the slowest team in the league in terms
that
of
checks out.
So when you see pace of play like tonight just ramp up just that amount, they can't keep up. And that was kind of true even when they had stars on the team. It is absolutely true now. So you could imagine if the Flames made it into the wild card spot, which is a 15% chance now anyways, and they faced the Colorado Avalanche in the first round, it would be an absolute massacre.
It would be
so,
awful.
Yeah, it's if you're a decision maker in the organization watching this game tonight going, yeah, we can't compete with the level of talent that this other team has, which sucks. It's Edmonton. I hate losing to Edmonton. You should hate losing to Edmonton, but they have two of the best players, not only in the NHL right now, but in their organization's history. They are dominant, franchise-defining talents, and it's really hard to compete with that.
It really is, and I think we're talking enough about the future right now that it's probably pertinent to talk about the road ahead for the Calgary Flames as we head into the Christmas break. The Flames will not be playing tomorrow or the day after that or the day after that because there are other things going on in the world. But they will be back at it on the 27th of December to take on these very same Edmonton Oilers, this time from the friendly confines of the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Flames have played their final road game of the calendar year 2025. They are going to play a lot of games coming up at home. It's going to be sort of an interesting opportunity for them to try and regain their composure in front of the Saddledome crowd. It's the Oilers on the 27th on Hockey Night in Canada. That'll be a fun one, followed by the Boston Bruins, Elias Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov visiting Calgary again on the 29th. And then I would say Andrei Kuzmenko and Jacob Pelche visiting the Calgary Flames from the Philadelphia Flyers, but neither of those guys play there anymore. So instead it will be Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee welcoming their old Philadelphia Flyers teammates to the Saddledome on New Year's Eve. A weird New Year's Eve game. First and foremost, the Flames and Flyers, not exactly a holiday matchup.
No.
Yeah, no. I would expect, I mean, for a long time it was Montreal,
Toronto,
but even when I was growing up, it was always the Oilers
Right.
who would be in Calgary on New Year's. Although I think I saw them play the Coyotes on New Year's Eve once, so maybe I'm just mixing some things up, but that would have been a weird one. But in any event, those are your last three games of the calendar year 2025, followed by two more at home to start 2026. It'll be the Nashville Predators and Seattle Kraken. Those are two big games for lottery ramifications. So 5 very interesting games coming up. And I would say 2 or 3 of them with serious just considerations as far as the lottery is concerned. Philadelphia, Seattle, and Nashville.
Yeah, it's unfortunately we're kind of getting into that position during the season. Like, all right, so where are we? Are we last, second last? Are we going to win the lottery? No. And I think January and February are going to be basically that, unfortunately, for this team, unless something drastic changes, but I don't think it will. And I really hope that the priority for the management over the next 2 months is, leveraging the assets they have and getting the best possible return they can.
Yeah, we'll discuss a little bit more about the road ahead. I just want to get into the comments a little bit. We want to see some more super chats, folks. Youth Centers of Calgary. They need your contributions. Our buddy Ryan Pike is in the chat, just sort of chiming in. And One of our commenters, Fubar 1982 AWOL, chiming in, "Hey puke." Misspelled Pike. "Hey puke. Thanks for the updates on the new building." So there you
new
go.
Nickname
Puke.
for Ryan. Yeah.
There you go, puke. Yeah, good to see some folks in the comments. Jux JC and Mr. Public Pain and a number of others. That's really funny. The road ahead presentation of the good folks up at Platinum Mitsubishi 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. They got 2026 Outlanders just rolling in up at Platinum, and they are good. They got the mild hybrid system. 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. It's a system, Kent, that it's not like a regular hybrid. It's not like a hybrid where you can drive a little bit on the battery, but it's just a little boost of battery that lets the engine sort of have an easier time starting and gives it a little bit of extra torque. So up to Platinum Mitsubishi, home of the 26 Outlander and the 10-year powertrain warranty. They're good folks. So that is your road ahead for the Calgary Flames. The Flames, as we have mentioned, as of the end of action on December 23rd, 15-8-4. They have a minus 15 goal differential. They are 1 point up on the Winnipeg Jets, who have 2 games in hand. They are 1 point up on the Vancouver Canucks, who have 1 game in hand. And they are 2 points up on the Chicago Blackhawks, who have 1 game in hand. So every team below the Calgary Flames in the standings, at least by raw points, has games in hand. To me, it feels like we're gonna see a bit of things starting to work out in favor of the Flames falling lower in the standings. Jack, what's going on here? Do we have somebody joining us? What's going on right now? Do we have a guest?
Pike.
There
he is.
Hey, it's puke.
It's puke.
Do you guys have any idea how much of the goddamn second period I spent devoted to figuring out what the hell happened with the penalty call?
Tell us.
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah.
I think we're stuck on. Stuck on Pike's face. That's
good.
Oh,
that'll make you puke.
It's good.
There you go, Pike. How was Rogers' place tonight?
Festive. Gene Principe had a very nice tie. Sort of like, imagine if you made a Christmas present entirely out of ribbons. So it was nice.
Pike, you are making Kent's internet connection seem like it's just it's fiber optic. But hey, what do you think of those Oilers jerseys? The cream, they look like something out of the 70s. That's how I feel too.
They're too monochromatic. They need more orange.
They do need more orange.
Yeah.
I think
orange. You'd hate the tracksuits.
Oh boy, this is great TV. Jack just kicked him off.
I've had
Jack
we got to get rid of Piker.
Pike,
not working
try
out.
get on your phone or something. That was horrible.
It's just like Kermit the Frog getting yanked off the stage with the big cane.
Goodbye, puke.
Oh man. Darian Carruthers, I'm not even going to bother fact checking this, but this is in the chat. The cream jerseys are good luck. The Oilers have never lost in them. I believe it. I don't have the bandwidth or the time. Pike might have the bandwidth, but I don't have the bandwidth to fact check that on this Tuesday evening. But yeah. Hey, that's Ryan Pike reporting live from the Flea Motel in Leduc, I think.
We're gonna bring him back in one more time.
No, don't do it.
Pike, you realize you can build a nation network for more than $40 a night,
Yeah, you know how much I'm billing them. They're getting more than $40 a night.
Well, you could have fooled me. Hey, what do you think of what did you think of the Flames' overall effort level tonight, energy level tonight? It seemed like it all kind of unraveled after the Weegar penalty.
Yeah, I think let's be blunt. They got outplayed. And how many nights have we talked about the Flames getting outplayed and then Dustin Wolf bailing their asses out?
more than we care to. You know, it was sort of a running joke of here's what's the story of tonight's game. Dustin Wolf was really good. The Flames managed to get points. This was the kind of game where the Oilers had the Flames kept things at 5-on-5. Yeah. They probably could still might have lost this game, but they just sort of gave Edmonton so many freebies on the power play. I mean, as much as I thought Zach Hyman was good. I thought Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was good. I thought a lot of guys in beige and blue and whatever the hell they call it accents were. The beige team is generally pretty good, and Draisaitl and McDavid were very good, but like Draisaitl had a hat trick consisted entirely of power play goals. So that shows that you gave them too many power plays. And when you go in the recipe for beating the Oilers is, especially if you're the Calgary Flames, the recipe for beating most teams here, the Flames, is keep it 5-on-5, turn the game into a slog, clog up the middle of the ice, make them work for it, hope your goalie can get the first save, be good enough in your own zone to clear it out after that. And it was almost like they went off of a checkbox of things not to do against the Oilers because they had tons of space in the neutral zone. They took too many penalties. Some of the penalties they took in the back half of the game were like just ones where they just started stepping on rakes, and they didn't stop stepping on rakes until it was 5-1. And, they don't lose because of the Weegar penalty, but when you lose a guy that plays so much of so many game situations, you're asking way too much of the other five guys. So the mistakes were made.
Indeed.
What do you think, Pike?
Summarized.
Mr. Watts in the chat is saying that the Flames should respond to this loss by calling up Alex Gallant from the Calgary
They can't call up Alex Gallant. I think he just finished his suspension, but he only has an AHL contract.
The Summerside PEI product. He'd probably do a better job fighting than Kevin Ball did tonight, but still, it seemed like kind of an ugly one. Any other takeaways from this one, Pike? Looking forward to what is it, Saturday, the next game?
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of game where they got sand kicked in their face a bit, and they kicked some sand in their own face a bit, and now I'd say if you're the Flames, this is sort of a litmus test game coming up on Saturday because you're going to be rested, you're going to have home ice, you get to determine the matchups, you can keep the fourth line the hell away from McDavid. But you also kind of have to have a bit more composure in your game, avoiding penalties, avoiding general silliness, sticking to the plan. Because, when they stick to the plan, they're actually a pretty damn good hockey club. When they don't stick to the plan, things can unravel. And I think that was kind of the word for what we saw this evening.
Anything from you, Kent?
That's a good note from Ryan that, they got the McDavid line out against the fourth line quite a lot. Tonight, just on the fly, you'd see Lomberg come out, and then there's McDavid and McDavid or Draisaitl out against Klapka and Lomberg. It's like that's not a fair matchup.
Hey, Pike, before we let you go, World Juniors Boxing Day. That's really the road ahead. Parekh top pairing looks like with Cameron Reid for Team Canada and Cole Reshny on the third line. It seems with Cole Baudouin and I think Jetlachenko heading into the first game. How excited, and are anybody else you're sort of looking for? Maybe Carson Carrols, or however you say it, the defenseman from the Dub. What do you think? Yeah, Carls. There we go.
Carson Carls. Again, I'll say I think we're all sleeping on the Spengler Cup, the greatest weird tournament in sports. But I think part of the fun of the World Juniors is the guys that will surprise us. Like I remember, I forget what year it was, but the World Juniors where Jacob Pelche started off as the 13th forward and worked his way up to the first line by the end of the round robin because he was so good and no one expected that. And so I think part of the fun of the World Juniors is weird shit that'll happen. And, I'm pretty excited to sort of see upsets, players come from nowhere to become, national heroes. I'm really curious. I think we're sleeping on Slovakia a bit. I think we're sleeping on Czechia a bit. And I want to see if Ivar Stenberg can be the man, the young Viking that we think he can be, because, if you're thinking, okay, what do the Flames do if they don't get first overall? I mean, settle for Stenberg Hashtag settle for Stenberg.
That's pretty good. We'll have to use that. Hey, it might be Carson Carl's, but this time of year it'll be Carol's. Have a Merry Christmas, Pike. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
That is Ryan Pike, Flames Nation managing editor, live from Edmonton, which I've been told is the Davos of Alberta. I think. What do you think, Ken? Should we do a group trip to the nation or to the Spengler Cup?
No, thanks. Nope.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to go to the
Spengler Cup.
You don't want to go to the Spengler Cup?
No.
I think I saw. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. There was a relatively large, significant AHL name that was heading to the Spengler Cup. I don't remember. In any event, yeah, I remember one year. I remember one year the Flames lent, not even the Flames, the Stockton Heat were the only AHL team to lend a player to Team Canada, and it was Cody Golobeff. And that was
good.
Remember
poll.
that? Good poll, eh? Yeah, remember that. So yeah, that's Ryan Pike live from Edmonton.
Giordano playing the Spengler Cup when he was over playing in the KHL.
Oh, well, it wasn't the KHL at that point. It was the Russian Super League.
Right.
But yes, Giordano I think might have played in the Spengler Cup.
The only time I cared about the Spengler Cup because I was following Giordano at the time.
Yeah. Hey,
for me, the juniors this year is less about like who's going to come up and be in Jacob Pelletier, and I think like players like Zane Parekh and Gavin McKenna have so much to prove right now. Like McKenna has really fallen off. He was the no doubt number one and now is not anymore. And then Zane Parekh came into the NHL and has obviously struggled a lot. So you got to imagine both those players have giant chips on their shoulder going into this tournament.
Well, Canada, Czechia on Boxing Day. Can't think of any better place I would want to watch that game than the Unicorn. 2 locations, the Unicorn on 4th and the Unicorn downtown on 8th Avenue Southwest. That location is Calgary Super Pub with 3 floors, 3 bars, 1 destination. The Sports Cantina with all things sports, hockey, football, soccer, UFC. And if anybody goes into the Super Pub on Friday night next to watch a UFC match instead of Calgary or Canada versus Czechia, I think it's time to send them to a different floor. It'll be a fun one. Looking forward to that. And head on over to the Unicorn. Either location, they're good spots. Of course, the World Juniors not in Calgary this year. It hasn't been in Calgary. It was only in Calgary the one time in 2012, if memory serves. And if somebody wants to go on YouTube and find it, there is a commercial that I filmed that I am in for that World Juniors.
How old were you?
I was 11. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. But yeah, that's the World Juniors. Maybe it'll come back to Calgary with the new rink opening up. That would be pretty cool. Edmonton's gotten it one too many times for my liking, so it would be cool to get an event of that magnitude back in the city. But yeah, really looking forward to it. There's a lot of very good players. Team USA should mention a couple things. Trevor Connolly, Vegas Golden Knights first round pick, will miss the tournament. He's injured. And this is kind of interesting. Team USA cutting Henry Brustevich from their roster. LA Kings first round pick. Hunter's brother will not play for Team USA. They had one too many defensemen, so they cut him from their roster. And yeah, as we mentioned, Zane Parekh on the top pairing. Cole Reshny, last I saw in their last skate, was lining up on the left wing on their third line. Canada, of course, carrying a ton of centers. So that'll be a lot of fun. Trying to battle back after back-to-back 5th place finishes. So we'll be. It's always fun to watch. We'll be tuned in.
If we're searching for positives for the Flames, I've liked Hunter Brustevich. I mean, since
he's great.
I thought he had a sequence tonight where it was him 1-on-1 versus McDavid, and he stopped him. I was like, oh boy, this is. Yep, and he looks more and more comfortable every game, which is really good news for the Flames. I don't expect him to come in and be a difference maker immediately, and you shouldn't expect that from most players. Just guys at 20, 21, if they come in and look comfortable, that's a really good sign.
Well, Jux JC in the chat raising a good point. Team Canada did play, I believe, a preliminary game today against the Danes. And it ended, as you might expect, 13-2 in favor of Team Canada. So, better than we've seen. I mean, obviously, it's a game that doesn't count. but still better than we've seen in previous years, where Canada, I think, scored 13 goals in the entirety of last year's tournament in total over the 5 games. That's actually true. I know that. They scored 13 goals in 5 games at last year's tournament. So, hey, at least they brought guys, even if they're playing against Denmark in a preliminary round game that doesn't matter, at least they can score 13 points or 13 goals. And as Jux JC mentions in the chat, McKenna did have 4 points in the
so did Zane Perret.
There you go. Zane did too. So excellent stuff. Thank you, Jux JC, for pointing that out. And hey, more of that, please. So exciting to watch Team Canada against Team Czechia later this week. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to get to beyond that. We're going to talk a little bit about the super chats. We do have 3 super chats. Nathan Explosion, a buddy of mine, who just loves this line. I find it funny. I find it funny just to tell people sometimes that they're bad. Like, how some people say my bad? Well, I say you're bad. And somebody asking, who is badder, me or the Flames? I think the Flames. I think the Flames are right now. They're not doing so hot. That's $2 to the U.S. Centers of Calgary. Mr. Public Pain, there's something going on in the chat tonight. There's all sorts of weirdness. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of weird stuff. I don't even know what this means. Fake pain is pop. I don't know.
This shit happens every single day.
It's some sort of youth thing that I don't know.
You know what happens is there's people that comment every day,
Mhm.
and then people make accounts, like fake accounts, pretending to be those people, and it's just endless.
Why haven't there been any fake me accounts? Why hasn't anybody made any fake Mike accounts?
You're not in the chat every day, so
I could be in the
you
chat
are.
every
could
day.
be in the chat every
No.
day.
Yeah, that's
Like people would know it's not you. But this is people
Anyway.
saying this is the fake one. I don't know what's real or fake.
The words fake pain is pop just make me think of like when I see like a celebrity couple that is like 2 celebrities who I've never heard of before. And it's like and I just turned 25. I'm generally with it in terms of you're not, Kent. You're in your 40s now, I think.
That's right.
But I'm 25. I'm purportedly with it. Like I've known about Tate McRae for a few years ago. I think Kent probably just learned about her this year.
No idea who that is.
Still doesn't even know who she is. See, Jack, like that's what we're talking about here. But like I'm talking about the next generation of Tate McRaes who are coming up, named like Veronica Flom or whatever, who don't exist. And it says Veronica Flom is dating Little Cheesy, and it's like I don't know who these people are. That's what that chat reminded me of. And then we have another super chat for the U Centers of Calgary. This is $5. This is $5 again from Nathan. I hope this game represents the unraveling of the rebiggle and the start of the rebuild. My dad is actually in studio right now, and I'm going to explain this because I don't think he saw the Don Maloney interview earlier this season. Did you? No, he just shook his head. This is good. So earlier this season, Don Maloney was on Sportsnet, and this will be good for folks who are watching. And he was chatting with Brendan Parker, and he said the word rebuild in an answer, and then he immediately looked like he was like, "Oop, I wasn't supposed to say that," and so he took it back and he said, "Rebuild. I mean, rebiggle, retool," and nobody knows what a rebiggle is, and
this is what it is.
This is what the rebiggle is. Did you see what Patrick Allvin said? They had Allvin.
Oh God, yes.
The Canucks have been
hybrid retool. I think it was.
No, it's worse than that. He said he was on the Sportsnet, or no, it wasn't even Sportsnet. It was on the Amazon Prime broadcast because yesterday was Monday. The Canucks were playing on Amazon Prime, and he said, "We are retooling in a hybrid form."
That's right.
We are retooling in a hybrid form, and you're like, "This is a rebuild that runs on both gas and electricity."
Oh wow.
It's like you draw more attention to how silly it all is by making these silly, parenthetical references to something so obvious. Like you're just dancing around it.
Make it up as we go, but we're gonna do it as fast as we can. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Well, it's the Streisand effect. Like it's you are like, if you just
very,
said
very silly.
If you just said we're rebuilding, people would be like, okay, they're rebuilding. Who cares? But the fact that they're going out of their way to try and sanitize it is just what I think gets on people's nerves a little bit.
I don't understand why almost every Canadian team does this.
Oh, it's so weird.
Either.
You know what is going to be really interesting? And I'm calling my shot a few years in advance here because we have not seen it yet, ever in the last under this regime. What happens when things really start to go bad in Winnipeg?
Right. They're
what is
bad
that
right now, but yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, but they got, they're a little bit different because they got Hellebuck locked in long term. They got guys locked in long term.
Yeah.
We're like, what happens when those guys are in their mid-30s? And what do we hear coming out of Kevin Cheveldayoff's mouth and out of Mark Chipman's mouth and out of guys in Winnipeg? A market where we just haven't seen this sort of thing. And the only market that's really done it, to an extent properly, although that's in the most, the largest air quotes possible is Ottawa. And it was just sort of out of turmoil where the hockey product was always secondary to the circus surrounding the team.
I'm going to say Montreal kind of embraced the rebuild eventually, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
The regime
sort of.
change, and then like, all right, we're going to be bad. And now they're doing this. It's like, okay, well.
Montreal to me is very similar to the Flames' last rebuild-ish, where they had Caulfield and Suzuki, and they got them out of, different means. They drafted Caulfield sort of mid-first round. They got Suzuki in a trade for Pacioretty. And so they had those guys in place before they picked first overall, right? And so it ends up being this kind of hodgepodge where it was the same with the Flames, where they had Gaudreau and Monahan in place, and then they get Tkachuk. And those guys went into the playoffs before they ever got Tkachuk, sort of in a similar fashion to, it's easy to forget it now, Cole Caulfield has played in the Stanley Cup finals in his career. Like you think about this Montreal Canadiens team and how they feel like they're on the up and up and they're just sort of getting there. And yet the two biggest players on this team have both been to the Cup final before.
They got Lane Hudson in the second round, and they got Demidov that fell to them, who should have been, who was a first or second overall talent.
Yeah, Demidov won at 5, so it's or 6. Yeah, so it's just a weird situation where Calgary is starting from a standpoint where, let's say Calgary is, say, like Montreal circa 2022. Okay. Right. The year after they drafted first overall, or the year after they made it to the Cup final, they get first overall. Except Calgary does not have anything resembling Cole Caulfield in their back pocket that they can say, okay, we're adding whoever we draft this year to that guy. Right. So that's sort of how it's
Coronado, who is Caulfield light, I guess.
Yeah, they've got Matt Coronado, who's kind of like, oh boy, I'm trying to think of the best analog here. It's like if the Jets tried to build around Nikolai Ehlers, but even then, I don't know if Coronado's at the Ehlers level. I don't know. This is
got Zane Parekh, but we don't know what he is at the NHL level at this point.
This is getting a little too abstract, but yeah. It is what it is. Keep getting the super chats in, folks. This actually turned into a better show than I thought it would be. The comments, well, you never know after a 5-1 game on Christmas Eve. Lots of folks in the comments, just sort of lots of stuff. Mr. Public Payne's really upset at Jack. I don't understand why anybody would be mad at Jack. He's the nicest man. Like he's
Jack, what are you doing?
I don't even know what Jack's doing. He's probably eating some soup. He's probably just sort of sitting on his couch, not even looking.
I'm just having a good time.
Are you? When was the last time?
Are you eating soup?
When was the last time you ate soup, Jack?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I had soup earlier today. I went to Tim Hortons. You know where we'll need some soup is up at the Jasper Pond hockey tournament because it's going to be really cold. It's going to be really, really cold up there. Although hopefully there's a nice little spell. The wheels are in motion. I'm trying to get up to Jasper, January 23rd, 25th, 2026. We were chatting with Amel and with Jared, the good folks behind this show, and our Christmas stuff recently. I'm really hoping we can get up there. Jack is doing his revolutionary screen sharing tool again. I don't know if he had this prepared, but I hear it's very, very cutting edge. 4-on-4 pond hockey on the ODR. Head on over to nationgear.ca. Register your team today. Team of 4 to 8 players battling it out for the coveted Jasper Cup. It is not just hockey. Hang out with the crew here at the Nation Network. Apparently, there will be pro hockey alumni there. I would assume there's more than just Rhett Warner. I would assume his presence there is sort of maybe a little redundant with the idea of the Nation Network folks there. But there will be some folks there, and there will be prizes, watch parties, and off-ice fun around Jasper. So you'll want to register for that. Nationgear.ca is the spot. And hey, we'll hope to see you there. I hope to see you there. I don't know if I'm going to get to go. I think what everybody should do is comment under this video that you should send Mike to Jasper in January. Kent, I don't know if you want to go to Jasper in January. Kent, you do not. Kent does not want to go to Jasper in January. Jack, are you going to Jasper in January?
Yes, I will be there.
So you already have a ticket. See,
yeah.
That's the thing. Jack is on a higher pedestal here. He's got his accommodations already set. I'm just sort of trying to get in there. So just leave a comment, leave a like as well. We hope to see some of those pop up. And yeah, just let the people know that we want to go to Jasper. At least I do. Hey, one more thing we want to get through. Just discuss a little bit before we sign off tonight. Kent, I owe you an apology. I misattributed a commitment to the Calgary Health Foundation. I have been doing this for a while. I forgot it was Pike who committed, not you.
That's right.
Pike was the one who committed $20 to the Calgary Health Foundation for every point that Ryan Lomberg recorded until the end of the calendar year.
And he has scored a couple times recently.
Scored a couple times. He scored twice. So Pike is up to $40. That's not bad. Pike's up to $40. I personally think Pike should have maybe made it a little bit more, but we're not going to disparage. We're not going to besmirch. My total's a little bit higher, but it did not get any higher tonight, as you might expect in a 5-1 game. Yeah, it was Zary and Weegar. No points for them tonight. I think my total's still at 200. I want to say 4 each, since I made that little commitment, 4 points each for those two guys. So yeah, I said $25 for each point for Weegar and Connor Zary until the end of the calendar year. And we'll just sort of we'll get to the preamble now, post-amble, because it's all about Lanny McDonald. Lanny McDonald at the Calgary Health Foundation, they're teaming up to raise funds for upgraded cardiac catheterization labs, which help doctors diagnose and treat heart disease faster and better than ever. You should go to givehealth.ca. Learn more, donate. If you donate before December 31st, your donation will be matched. So really that $200 is more like $400 for the Calgary Health Foundation. And yeah, Lanny McDonald, just an incredible comeback. We all heard about the health scare that he had a couple of years ago up at the Calgary airport, but it was the Foothills Medical Center and the Calgary Health Foundation that really helped him get back on his feet. So head on over to givehealth.ca one more time. Learn more about Lanny, about his situation, about all that stuff, and make sure you contribute before the end of the year. It's a good cause, and my apologies for misattributing Pike's generosity is yours.
Well, apologize to Pike, not me.
Yeah, I already did. We're on good terms. I'll have to apologize for calling him puke, but that's a separate conversation.
That's not your fault.
That's not my fault. That's right. Anything else we want to get through, Ken? We've almost made it an hour, which I'm actually surprised about. But yeah, I mean, this is our last chance to sort of send a message through the camera before Christmas. So anything you got?
Not really. I mean, I'll give some kudos to like Michael Backlund and Blake Coleman, who have been really good recently, and the part of the only tandem that scored tonight. But yeah, it's just I can continue to rant that the Flames should rebuild and stop fighting it and embrace the tank. But until they do that, I'll just keep banging that drum.
Well, I will close out today just sort of by reiterating something that I said on a recent show, which is that the way that I have viewed this season, especially in the early stages of this season where I was sort of getting existential about the prospect of doing 75 more of these shows after the Flames started off horribly, was that this season is really 4 20-game chunks. I mean, Bob Hartley used to talk about his 7-game segments, but, really in this sense, the Flames aren't competing for the playoffs. It's not like they have to be over 507-game chunks to have a chance to compete. What it really is that we have gotten almost now through the second quarter of the season. The first quarter sort of is the feeling out process, getting things ramped up, getting the players in gear, and also just sort of setting the tone for the rest of the year. And the Flames still have not recovered from those first 20 games. They really haven't. They're still at the bottom of the standings. The second 20 games are what sort of set the tone for trade discussions. And so now what I think we're at is we're getting into the third section of 20 games, which from my standpoint are the most exciting 20 games of the season, because this is where all the trade talk is going to ramp up, and this is where things are going to actually happen. Folks have known that I often say nothing ever happens because it feels like nothing ever does. We're coming up on a year since the Flames made their last substantial hockey operations move, since they traded Pelche and Kuzmenko to the Flyers, and they got Frost and Farabee back. If you look at the year since then that Craig Conroy has undertaken, their second biggest move over that span has been claiming John Beecher off waivers. So they haven't done a whole lot. So we are now here on the verge, I think, of what will be the most newsworthy section of the season, the newsworthy segment of the year. And so that's something to think about as we head into the new year, because truly, with the tone that Rasmus Anderson After Hours interview took this past Saturday, it really did feel like an end was on the horizon. And if they do lose, exactly. And if they do lose to the Oilers on Saturday, it's hard to imagine more of a
punctuation.
That's a great word for it. A punctuation mark than a couple of losses against Edmonton for a player who, quite frankly, sort of made his career to start out of that sort of passion in these sorts of big rivalry games. So I think that's going to be very interesting to watch. Not even as a next 2 months sort of thing, but as a next 2 weeks sort of thing. So that's just sort of my 2 cents there, Kent.
Well said. Let's end on that.
Yes, you bet. For the good folks at Bet3, oh, you know what? We need one more thing. Just one more thing. One more thing, because Jack's a long-suffering man. His hockey teams aren't so bad. His baseball team is horrendous.
Very bad.
Horrendous. He doesn't have a basketball team. Pittsburgh doesn't have a basketball team.
No.
But his football team, Jack, if you didn't know, is a big Pittsburgh sports fan. And his Steelers, this is our Bet365 bet of the day. We got no hockey to talk about. There's no games tomorrow. So the good folks over at Bet365 already set the lines for the Steelers against the Browns. And Kent, I just need you to tell me your expert analysis on this game.
Waited to see him.
Take this coin, flip it, pick heads. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Jack, Jack, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, because the Baltimore Ravens play on Saturday, and if they lose, Pittsburgh clinches the division, and this will be a meaningless game.
I'm seeing here that the Pittsburgh Steelers are 9-6, and they've won 3 straight games.
Correct.
They have scored 365 points this year, and they've allowed just 350. They are 5-3 at home, but only 4-3 on the road. And so because of that, they're on the road. I'm going to say the Browns are Mike's lock of the week.
Chewing of the week.
And that's all I got. That's all I got.
All right, Mikey.
There you go. That's
a
presentation of our good folks over at Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get it on the game. Use the code NATION, and that'll pretty much wrap us up for this Tuesday night. For the good folks at Bet365 at the Youth Centers of Calgary, over at the Derek Newman Group, Platinum Mitsubishi, the Unicorn, the Calgary Health Foundation, and of course at the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, and for everybody at the Nation Network, and for our producer Jack. My name is Mike Gould, along with Kent Wilson, and the Calgary Flames fall 5-1 to the Edmonton Oilers in the final game before Christmas. Everybody watch and have a very happy holiday season. Stay warm out there, and we'll be back at you on Saturday as the Flames return to take on the Oilers, this time at the Saddledome. Until then, Merry Christmas.